Welcome back, everybody. I hope you are feeling refreshed. We are continuing looking at the organizations, which is the final component of our market environment, or other organizations. So just before the break, we took a look at CBOs, NGOs, and unions. Our following example of the other organization is our regulators. Now, regulators are bodies or governmental bodies or organizations, however you want to put it. And what they do is they make rules and regulations which a business must adhere to. So these rules and regulations are designed to monitor business activities or to help a business or even force a business to adhere to certain rules or certain laws. So they mainly just check up on the businesses to see if they adhere to these rules, regulations, or even laws. So our explanation in the first bullet states that it's government bodies, and what they do is they make rules and regulations to control activities of our business. So their main function is to make sure that businesses do not exploit their customers or their employees. Now, here is two examples for us of regulators who have an influence on our business. And the first is SABS, or the South African Bureau of Standards. So what they do is they provide businesses with certain standards that have to be met for the product to be seen as a quality product. So in a way, they are protecting the consumers by giving them or ensuring that they receive a quality product. The following example is Airports Company South Africa, which of course then regulates airplanes or airplane companies and airports, of course. Another example is the National Credit Regulator, which then looks at businesses who provide credit and makes sure that these businesses apply the National Credit Act. So I think you can understand that they monitor businesses to make sure that these businesses do not exploit customers by giving these businesses rules and regulations they must adhere to. So that is then our regulators. And then we are going to move on to the last example of other organization, and this one is our strategic allies. Now, I love using McDonald's Happy Meals as an example for strategic allies. So let me use it then. So we all know Happy Meals. You all know that you get a toy with your Happy Meal. So this is an example of strategic allies where you have two businesses, McDonald's and Disney or Pixar, whatever the company is that's relevant, and they work together for a specific project. So they work together in Happy Meals. So both companies benefit from this project. Both get marketing and both get a competitive advantage. So mostly Pixar will, for example, use the toys to market their movies, and children want to buy Happy Meals to get the toys. So both of the companies win. And this is an example of strategic allies. So when we look at the explanation, we will see that strategic allies are businesses, and they combine their resources to undertake a project. And this project rather will benefit both of them. If it's more than one business that's part of the strategic allies, it will benefit all of the businesses. So these relationships will help businesses to explore markets, so they can maybe enter a new market by using strategic allies, or they will also gain a bit of competitive advantage, where consumers rather will prefer your business because you are part of this strategic allies more than they will look at other businesses. So this is our last organization, which will form part of our market environment, and it is our strategic allies. So these were our two components, our competitors and our other organizations. Our other organizations, of course, being CBOs, NGOs, unions, regulators, and strategic allies. So let's continue by looking at the opportunities and the threats that can be found in our market environment. So we are going to focus on the second part of our concept map. Now, we must first understand what an opportunity is and what a threat is. So when we speak of an opportunity for a business, it is anything that can happen, preferably mostly in the external environment of the business. And this thing that is going to happen will have a positive effect on the business. So if we look at the meaning of the word opportunity, it states that it can be any factor, of course, in the external environment. And these factors will then contribute or help the business to succeed. So it will contribute to the success of the business. So what a business needs to do is they need to constantly seek opportunities in the external environment. So they must go out in the environment or inspect the environment rather to see if there isn't any opportunities that they can use to gain more profit or more market share so that they can capitalize on that. So here's a few examples for you guys of opportunities. The first one being a decrease in taxes. For instance, the government says we have to pay less VAT, so that means we have less expenses and therefore we will gain more profit. Or even a competitor business closing down, that means those consumers will not have that business to go to, so they will hopefully come to your business. A decline in interest rates means that our credit, our loans will become cheaper, again, less expenses. Or even favorable legislation by the government, a law being passed that will favor your business. Maybe it will increase your sales, or maybe it will close down your competitors. So these are all examples of opportunities which will help your business to succeed. But when we look at threats, it's quite the opposite. So these will be factors that have, of course, in the external environment. Let me just place emphasis on that again. And they will stand in the way of your business to achieve your success. So these are negative factors, or rather factors that will have a negative impact on your business. So what a business needs to do is, of course, again, they need to constantly identify threats in the external environment and always have strategies or be proactive in addressing these threats, because we want those threats to have a minimum impact on our business. So let's take a look at some threats that can be presented to your business. So the first one being increase in taxes. Of course, increase in taxes means you'll have more expenses. Okay, so how can we counter that? So maybe they'll ask you to recommend a way or a strategy to address these threats. You don't actually have a choice. You have to pay more taxes. So what can we do? Maybe we can decrease our expenses in other areas of a business so we can pay the taxes to our government. A next example will be a new business entering our market. So that means you will have one more competitor in your business or for your business. So what can we do? We can maybe lower our prices, have a promotion. So a strategy will be any way you can address the problem to enable your business to still succeed or to meet your goals. Another example then will be an increase in your interest rate, which again will be similar to taxes, an increase in your expenses. Or the last one, maybe example will be changes in the government legislation, where a law is changed which will negatively affect your business. So of course, again, you will have to adapt to the law, but you will have to find a way to still make your profit or keep your market share, but still then adhering to the law that has been implemented by the government. All right, so these are a few examples of opportunities and threats that you can find in your market environment. I hope I could help you guys understand the components of the market environment and also the threats and opportunities that a business can find in the market environment. I hope I see you again next time. Until then, bye-bye. you.